Say you want to add an outline or a border around a specific shape, like this one for example, you'd have to trace the outline manually, and that will be very time consuming. So here's a nice trick to automate that instead. I'm going to add an anchor point, then I'm going to duplicate that layer, and then I'm going to clear all that information from the second layer. Then I'm going to fill it with the anchor point we've created before. Here it is, called shape mask. And then now I have the same data from this mask into this other one. Now I'm going to hide the original. I'm going to call this outline. Now I can basically paint on the original one, and that will carry the data over to the other one also. So say I'm painting with a blurry brush here. So here we have a combination of blurry and sharp. So now I'm gonna turn off this original shape layer that has the paint effect on it, and now I'm only left with the outline layer that has the anchor with the same data. Now I'm gonna add a filter to that layer. I'm gonna start with adding a blur. And then I'm gonna adjust the blur intensity here to clean up those edges a little bit. Now to add another filter, the histogram shift. This one right here. Then I'm gonna play with the position. Make it 0.5, which gives you kind of a curvature map look. I'm gonna blur that just slightly to clean it up. Now I'm gonna add another filter, and that's gonna be the high pass. Now what that's gonna do is gonna tighten up that curvature map looking effect we're getting right now. So I can make it very subtle like that, and then add another filter, the histogram scan. Now crank up the contrast, and then play with the position. Now that grabs you the outline. There we go. Now add another blur, filter, blur. That cleans it up a little bit, but then we need to add a levels and then crunch it to get a slightly better aliasing effect. And you can keep stacking those and refining it as much as you want. You can also play with the previous blur amounts, depending on how much you want it to be eroded. And if you look at the material mode, we got an outline. Now the great thing about this workflow is if you go back to the original shape layer, it still has that color, and you can still paint on this layer and the effect still gets applied. So now if I change the color of this layer, and whatever I do in this layer gets replicated on the other one, and then all the effects are applied to get you the outline. This could be used for tattoos or for drawing patterns or details on clothes, a lot of uses. And it actually works better with a sharper brush. So the better and sharper the initial mask is, the nicer result you're gonna get. Also, removed from this mask, it gives you holes. It also works great with other brushes, but the sharper they are, the better. Now let's crank up the displacement just to see what it looks like. Then in the outline layer, I'm going to crank up the height. Get a nice ridge there. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.